Welcome to the watch list video for March the 23rd. We're going to look at the daily and weekly bullish and bear breaks that appeared today and give you that watch list. Here's a look at the futures chart we've been showing for several days last week as it was approaching up through here on those few up days that our chart, the way we teach to trade it, we were going to reject right there when we got there. This chart was way down here at that time when I kept saying it's going up, but it looks like it's going to come back down. I showed this chart multiple times last week when it was along in these areas here. This was the 19th here. This is the bigger picture, our bigger factor chart that was already in this downtrend. It had been rejected. This had triggered back on the 14th day of March, and at this number here, 27.51.50, was a trigger a little after midnight, or actually lunchtime that day. It's where it triggered. It did a little retracements. It's worked its way down. It's never said anything but short. And then on the 19th was this little period right here where it was rising. That's the other chart we were looking at there. And then when it rolled back over and failed, it's when that started back down. And for futures traders, this is what we predict. And we predict when we start back down, we go right up here, red zone retracement alert, and it'll give the price of what that's going to be to trigger that short. And so that would have been probably somewhere right along in here. I'm not real sure exactly where it would be without going and looking it up. It's our new shorter format video. You don't even need to watch the last 15 minutes. Those are tutorials on the recap sheets and the charts. If you need the tutorial on the charts or about what the graphs mean in the recap with the yellow and red and green lines on the watch list, go over to 9 minutes before the end of this video, and there's a complete tutorial about the recap grids and about the charts. That's the last part of the video. That's where you'll find the subscribe window, and right after that is where the tutorials are. It's the last 9 minutes of the video. If you're already familiar with that, you don't need to watch when you get to that point. And that's where this subscribe screen will appear right before the tutorial. Be sure to watch our new video series, Swing Trading Watch List, Calls in Action, with charts right off our STS Pivot System charting package. Many charts as they progress through the factors, and you'll be able to pick up on some trades many days ahead of what the bull and bear zone breaks show on the swing trade list. You'll see charts like this that triggered a short back on the 19th and gave this retracement alert that we traded today on the 21st with the price to re-enter the trade right on the chart, red zone retracement. You'll find out more about that right after the recap grids. We got a section there we're going to tell you about that. Not much to discuss here. I've been talking about the charts as they work their way through these lines for days and days and days, and I've been saying we're headed back down here. And today was driven, of course, by news, but the chart was already set to do this anyway. It did produce a great day for day trading, and I'm sure some people already had some shorts and they picked up some big profits today as well. We even found a long or two in the middle of some of this. Quick look at the SPY, similar picture of course, and then over to the SP 500. You know, we failed this yesterday. Of course, the gap down this morning, the momentum was already there. Look at the AD lines in the early trading. We had the gap down and we headed up pretty strong on the AD lines for about 45 minutes to an hour. That was a smaller time frame here as it came up, and the market really didn't respond a whole lot. There were a few stocks moving that we were able to find a trade or two in, but the market itself just kept ignoring that even though the AD lines were rising. And then we got this first little sell-off here, and the market did respond to that. and then we ended up getting in this short-term little rise here. That was this period across here, and the market gave a few little spots there, and then this is where we turned over about probably 1:30, 2 o'clock, probably closer to 2 it seems like, and AD lines turned, the market turned, and we started looking for shorts, and there were just too many opportunities to trade them all. We traded Amgen, was one of our later trades earlier in the day. Picked up one on LRCX for a big run up. Facebook, we got in one time today. Caterpillar was giving some good setups I put in the room. I did not actually trade that. And then there were several others. Win was a big mover. EFX was another seller we looked at this morning from yesterday, just a continuation. PXD made some little moves today. NC was a huge seller. Nvidia gave a nice setup or two during the day. And all you had to really do is pick yourself out 10 or 15 different charts and watch them, and you'll find your trade. This is how the AD lines ended the day. This is one we were looking at there earlier. That was this part of the big time frame. And then when it rolled over here was in that 2 o'clock area. That lined up with this right here, time frame wise. And when the big one lost, went red on us somewhere right along in here. That's a much bigger algo read. I thought we were in for a big sell-off, and that's when we really started concentrating on shorts. Quick review of these lists, and then we'll get them up here where you can get a better look. This is your weekly bears. That list has been growing. Of course, today it was huge. Got 45 stocks on that list now. I'll stop it on the way back up where you can get a better look at it. And we'll have it on a recap at the end where you can pause and look. Try to give that little pause where you got time to pause that video there. Bull list won't need any pausing. Got nothing on the weekly bull list this week. There were a few that were up there a few days ago. They're gone now. So nothing closed into the weekly bull zone. We'll do the bears at the end. There's 2 daily bulls, daily bull breaks. And then the bear list. 119 stocks showed up on this list today. You can see the net changes here. ACN down $11, $6 ADS, Amgen down $5.51, AMP down $6.80. That's a stock I like to watch. I didn't watch it today. And like I said, you didn't have to do anything much, but just pick you a few to watch. Slide this list on down where you can get a focus in on that. There were already several on here already when we get to the recap sheet, so half the 400 I look at or more are going to be on these down list. Goldman Sachs was a big seller today, $9.25. Even though the markets thought the Fed decision was going to help that stock, it did a little bit yesterday. It just couldn't overcome the markets today. Bringing this down. We're almost to the bottom. Gives you a glance at those. We'll pull up those recap grids. This video is being brought to you by STS Pivot System Charting Package for day traders, swing traders, and option traders. Easy to follow charts and scanners. Trigger prices right on the charts, on the setups. We teach 2 trades long and 2 trades short. That's all. It's that simple. Just like you see on this chart, the trigger price for this trade was in the corner over here from this point on, with this price posted, not to take it up here, and it did not trigger, but it wasn't posted as a trigger anyway. Came back. This is a classic, beautiful setup. Breaks right here. 167.26 was our trigger price. We develop these same lines where you can overlay them on your shorter term charts. This is a 2 minute. by not taking that trade early when it went up here to 167.11, you avoided this 30-something minute pause here. It's not quite 30, about 15 minutes. This was a 60-something cent pullback by waiting on our trigger price to get in the trade here. And we were predicting that trigger price. This didn't go green until this happened. You have that up arrow where we're showing the price to go long at, and as soon as it triggers, it immediately gives a go short because it's so close to flipping back over. So that's exactly where it occurred, was right here. And that is how simple that package is to use. Trigger prices right on your charts. Got a 7-day free trial offer, 10-day money back guarantee. Once you get this set up, it's $69 a month. And we're extending as a courtesy, if you take this package, full access to the website, including the trade room if you want to come in and out of there as well. It's not part of the charting package, but it's an offer we're letting you come in if you want to. And I mentioned this in a video about a week ago that we were going to do this. Any previous member to Day Trader Setups from day one ever paid $1 to us, this $69 fee is waived. You can come in and try the 7-day trial, no outlay of cash whatsoever. If you decide you want to go with this package, then you can sign up. We're going to look at the bulls first, because most of them are fading away now, and we want you to be able to see that. Nothing on the weekly, we just looked at that. 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, 4 day, 5 day. You can see nothing down here but one still even got a check on it. Little stock here still running, still intact, still running $1.42 up again today. And see what's on the bottom of the list. Pretty much everything's faded away on the bull list. These may be some of the first to come back. And the market tries to recover. This stock again today, another $1.36. It's just been unbelievable. And this is on the list because of a repost. It originally was bull zone, way back here the first time for this big run, and then we brought it back in on this day, middle of the day, and it's just continuing on up with passion. And MPC had another big, it's up $2. It had a middle day. It didn't sell off much, and some of the others held up pretty well too. There's your bull list. Let's take a look at the bears. And we've got that video coming out later on tonight showing you many of the charts that we ran across and traded today, and a few more. It'll just show you our charting system in action. And this is the kind of day you can take any watch list you want to watch, put your list on my system, and you'll find all the trades you want to trade. And it prints the prices right on the charts prior to the trigger price. Tells you right where it's going to be, and then after it triggers, it puts it on there as well, so you can go back and refer to it. And when it predicts going the other way again, it'll bring it up there again. Then when we get the retracements, it puts that on the chart as well. Let's see here on the bears. You already saw the new list over here, but we will show it again while we're showing. And here's yesterday's. They had the momentum going. You had one green stock, two green stocks in there, and you had a continuation with ESRX, $1.21 down, $1.88, $3.87, $3.37 on Anthem. All of these are intact. Anthem don't have a trend stability because it might have had a little bit of a too high in the morning before it, or maybe just broke into there later on in the day. Had never got there yet. Actually didn't lose it. Had never got there. All of these still in the bear zones from 3 days ago. Some of them didn't have big down days because they're already several days into the sell-off. Several had $2 and $3 days. PLCE had 2 big green days after getting into the bear zone, and now it reversed back down again today. That's probably a good short watch for tomorrow. That's the stock that gave the big bounce. Gap down off of earnings, 2 great big days up for about $9 or $10. pretty good chance he gets back some more now. That'd be an excellent choice for a short trade tomorrow. Get this up here where you can take a look. This was from 3 days ago, and they just kept getting stronger and stronger to the downside. 4th day on the list now. And then these few you got over here, we'll slide down this bear on this side where you can get you're just getting a relook at those. This is our new short format. We're going to get you in, get you out, let you see the stocks that show up. Of course, days like today, you can look at about any list you want to find. There's tons of stuff out there. It's got our momentum indicators for you to keep track of them for 5 days. I don't know that you can find that anywhere else out there. And we're going to try to get you in and out of here in a timely manner. Remember, the end of the video, the last 15 minutes, unless you need tutorials, there's nothing down there to watch. There's a little segment on our new video series right before the tutorials on the very end of the video, and then the actual tutorials in the last 9 minutes. If you need the tutorials on this, you just go over to it's like 7 minutes and 27 and 9 minutes. I think it's about 9 minutes right before the end. There'll be a red box on the subscribe button like we explained in the beginning, and you'll be able to find your spot. In the last 9 minutes is all about these tutorials on the bars here, as well as some about our charts. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow. Be sure to watch our new video series, Swing Trading Watch List, Calls in Action, with charts right off the STS Pivot System charting package, where we'll be viewing some trades as they progress and reviewing the status of them, and you may can pick up some trades many days ahead of these bull and bear break, as you heard us speak about in previous videos. Be looking at STS Pivot System charts that'll show you this break right here on Facebook that occurred. Ended up being a $9 run, and then again as it got here, it gave another alert to break down here, and then it triggered here for this short for another $2 run. This is how our pivot system charting package looked early in the morning before 10 o'clock, between 9:45 and 10. This triggered at this price, and before it triggered, when you see this little box right here, it indicates that this box was present, giving you the exact trigger price of that long watch alert. This stock proceeded to go from below 165 all the way up to $173, and all along the way our pivot system charting package kept you in the trade. It never said get out. It never crossed below the line enough to turn it back red, and when it does approach these lines, we use this as well. You do not see any predictions of a reversal yet, and if you don't see the predictions as it pulls back, the trend is really still strong enough that we're going to give a retracement off of this level, and that's where this little box comes in. The trend retracement level, the entry price is right here. This stands for green zone retracement. We're in our green zone. We retrace, and when this occurs, it's when you look here for your entry price, which would give you the price here and here for these next moves up if you wanted to take intraday trades. Also notice right here at this point in time, about 1:30, as it broke down through the line, it's still saying don't go short. It's predicting the short trigger at 170.95. That's what this little box goes down. This box appears and you have a price. As that price progressed back up, it actually triggered at 121.20 to turn it into red zone. It chopped around here for a bit and then sold off, ended up being over a $2 move. As soon as this box disappears, for either it's no longer a prediction or it is triggered and turns it green to red, this line appears on the chart with the exact price that triggered this and a little trend line. You can even show this big box at the same time if you want to. You got the option to turn that on or off. So it was predicting here, it triggered way over here, and then there's your trade. By waiting on the trigger, you didn't get in early over here. These videos are also going to show you what's set up similar to this. This was breaking down at the time it gave the price in the box, as indicated by this little indicator. There was a box here. Gave you the price ahead of time. This is our favorite trade setup. We fade the green, we go back near to visit, and then we come back and trigger. We lock the retracement first. We triggered at 122.53. This ended up being about $1.50 move down. It actually went lower than this, on down below 121 before it started back up. Well, this was intraday on the 21st at 12:10 p.m. when this triggered. All this was a retracement off of this chart on the bigger factor that was setting up the swing trade setup on a 50 factor chart. This had triggered here on the 19th at 12:44, and it's still right on the chart now live because it's never switched back off from red to green. So this stays on that chart until that happens. So 121.85 was the trigger, the retracement. This was 2 days ago. Retraced the next day, and this was where it was at. On the 20th, I actually put this on watch because I'm looking for it to come back down. I had myself an alert that what was going to trigger using this price, red zone retracement, as it was sitting up here. I noted this price off the chart at that time and did myself an alert. So when my alert went off today, I go straight to the chart that we looked at on the shorter time frame. I was in a downtrend, so I was trend trading. I was trading this retracement alert, and I was aware of it. I kind of picked up on this, so you can pick up these type setups the day before that they happen. The charts interact, so the run up, the retracement on the 50 was green on the 25. You interact the two charts together, you already know you're in a downtrend on the bigger factor, and you've got to set up for continuation trade on that bigger factor, which makes this that much more stronger. You can go over to stspivotsystems.com and find out how you can subscribe to this charting system. Be sure to subscribe to our channel while you're here, and follow us on Twitter, and follow us on StockTwitch, and go over to daytradersetups.com, click on Ninja 8 charting, and you can learn more about our STS pivot system charting package. Thanks for watching. This is a tutorial on our recap sheet. What you will see here is this column here is the weekly list. It's at the beginning on the weekly bear and bull breaks, the daily bull breaks and bears, depending on which one we're looking at, and then you will have 5 days following. First day, second, third, fourth, fifth. So what's here today will be here tomorrow. It'll shift over to here, then to here, then to here. So you got 5 days you can go back and look. The price here, you got the bull zone trigger price, 36.80. This is the price of the profit since this alert. This is the net change on the stock for today. So tomorrow, when this shifts over here, this number will be the same where we triggered it at. That number will stay in here for 4 days. The profit will be shown based on the current price of the stock in the day compared to this price on the alert. Like for instance on this stock, $3.48 profit from this break based on this close price, up 92 cents today. This number is the profit at the high since we alerted it. It's the most profitable it's been. It got up to $4.27 profit, pull back, closed at $3.48. As you go on over, like this stock here, SMTC, this was the break. This is the profit so far since the first day, $5.61 4 days later, and at the peak it was $6.31 profit. That's what these columns mean. The next part you'll find is this yellow line. It represents what I'm going to show you over here in just a moment, momentum. It can be on a bull or a bear chart. And then trend stability, if it's green, It represents on the bulls, and the bears will show a red line for trend stability. The last part you'll want to know about, there's these check marks. They represent the bull zone as it progresses higher. Could be the same as yesterday. Down here, this could be the bull zone that's gotten higher and higher and higher as this stock went along, and it means it's still maintaining the bull zone levels. Even the new ones, it's staying above them. This is what the bear grid looks like. It looks the very same. You got the weekly, 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, 4 day, 5 day. So you got a chance to see the stability of the trade. You know if it was up or down today after winning a bear zone the day before. The stability, the momentum, and the bear zone level with the check mark. In the video, we will take this page and we will slide these up and down so you have a chance to pause the video and see every single stock that's in the list. Then we'll move it up where you can see these items, and you can pause the video, and then you can see every single symbol in the list. You can go to your charts and look up what's going on. So that's what's in each one of these grids. The current day, day before, day before, day before, day before. So going back 4 days, you got your weekly there. And all this is right here is something I prepare for myself. I take this day, and this day, combine them into this watch list every day, and that's what I carry forward over to my scanners. And just a quick part about what we mean by these levels changing. This is the bull zone level that the check mark represents, the stock staying above. But the bull zone level when this stock broke out was way down here. This was the first breakout, and then as it recalculated our bull zone, that's what the green check mark means, is it's maintaining momentum. The yellow line represents this line that is our minimum momentum indicator used on down or up trades, and then our bull zone levels where it first broke out. And that's all these mean. Trend stability, this is the line we use here, and we come in and we call it trend stability, and that's what this represents here. This line is solid green rather than dotted. It's something we look at on the lows of the day, not being low enough for us not to qualify it for trend stability. So that's all these columns mean. So you'll be able to refer to the strength of the stock, that is maintaining high enough lows to stay trend stable, what the profit is if you're staying above the bull zone. That's how you'll use this, and that's your tutorial on the grids. This is a mini tutorial on what the lines mean on my charts if you're a first-time viewer or been a while since you viewed. We're scanning on weekly and daily charts for my condition. When this green line is up, it's my bull zone, and when the red line is up, it's my bear zone. You need to be aware of support and resistance lines and what charts do at levels, and that's what these levels are for. Just quickly as I can do this, and we're going to put a video on YouTube getting more from your swing trading charts that'll be more detailed and look at more stocks, how they react to these lines. But the gist of what you see here is this is what I'm scanning for, and as you can see here, this showed up in the bear zone. It did go down for a few days, but these green lines are support, and that's why it fought for a few days, tried to bounce back up, headed back down again, came right back into the bull zone, a bear zone, excuse me, and continued on down. Now the lines, here's what they represent. A green line is a place that a stock went up to and rejected. So as this green line redrew itself every time we made highs right here, and then it stayed across here for reference points, continues the same line here for reference points. Resistance, when you get above it, becomes support. This green line was drawn way back in the history, and when this stock broke above this resistance level, when it came back down, it held it, it held it, it held it, it tested it and held it again and again. That was support. That's why I want you to be aware of what these lines mean, and you'll see them on my charts. And then the activity that stocks do, sometimes they go, that's my first target, that's my second target. Many times stocks go target 1, pull back a little, target 2, then they may pull all the way back to 1 and go again if they're continuing an uptrend. In this case, it did the pull back. This blue line is a 50 period moving average. This orange line is a 200. So that's what I want you to be aware of as well. And then I have a pivot system that consists of this blue line at the top, yellow line at the bottom, and my target 1 and target 2. You'll see this particular day this stock gap down, huge gap down, open way down here. The low on this stock was 169.68. I'm getting that right out of this box over here. And the value of that yellow line was 169.67. Within 1 cent, it held that line and bounced that day for a huge bounce. It's not a support level, but it's where I look for stocks to try to hold. It's where I look if I'm short, say from here, this is where I'm looking to get out. I'm looking to move 2 levels, target 1, target 2, going up, target 1, target 2. The pink lines all represent places the stock has gone down to and bounced. This pink line is referencing this last pivot low. So as you're selling down into it, it may bounce again. If you get below it, then it becomes resistance. And that's all these lines mean. I just want you to know what they mean going forward. Thanks for watching the video. Let's get started.